All right, you're all set.
Thanks, David. The meeting will come to order. Welcome to the August 21st regular meeting of the West Hartford Commission of the Arts. My name is Chuck Corsi, and I'm the chair of the commission. This meeting is being conducted in a virtual format in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act as amended by Public Act number 21-2, which authorizes municipalities to conduct public meetings virtually. Members of the public can view this meeting live on West Hartford Community Television at WHCTV.org or YouTube/WHCTV5. The meeting is also being recorded for on-demand viewing and will be available on the town's website. Since we are conducting this meeting in a virtual format, there are some special rules and procedures that I need to cover before we begin. First, I ask all participants to mute your device when you are not speaking. If you wish to be recognized, please raise your hand and I will call on you in the order I see hands raised. If you are participating by audio only or I do not call on you and the debate is ending, then unmute your phone and I will let me know so I can recognize you. Second, all speakers must make a good faith effort to state the person's name and title at the outset of each occasion that such person participates in the meeting. Third, all votes must be taken by roll call unless the vote is unanimous. Fourth, a reminder that if any participant has a problem with connectivity, you should immediately call David, whose number you were provided earlier. He will let me know and we will recess the meeting while the problem is being resolved. If it cannot be resolved quickly, we will ask you to call into the meeting using a phone or participate via audio. Let us proceed to the roll call. Karen Bachman is not here. Matt Bragg is not here. Javier Colon is not here. Chuck Corsi is not all here, but now I'm here. LaTanya is not here. Ginny Kemp?
Here.
Carol McCabe?
Here.
Marilla Pinedasor?
Here.
Susan Rothenberg?
Here.
Great. Does anybody have, next we'll move on to the minutes. Does anybody have any questions, comments, changes for last month's minutes? If not, since we do have a quorum of 5, we can vote to approve the minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I made it.
That makes the motion. Here a second. Ginny, I saw Ginny's hand. Motion's been made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye or raising your hand. It's 5-0. Sue, passes unanimously. David, has anybody signed up for public comment?
No one has signed up.
Got it. Okay. Old business, really nothing new to report on the calendar. I continue to get requests and they continue to be posted on the calendar, which is a good thing. On the West Hartford Public Library Art Banner Contest. And thank you. I don't know, was it you, Carol, that reminded me or said it last week? Yeah, I called Carol Waxman after our meeting and she was looking for a lot of help because they didn't have anybody that had responded. So I connected her with Roxanne.
Oh, perfect.
Stahalchik, and they're working on that. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks for keeping an eye out.
Sure.
Does anybody have any questions about those first 2 bullets? Okay, I'll move on. So the next we talked about, and again, I apologize, I do not have the talking points or presentation, but we can talk about that at the next month. But it's very basic. It's not an elaborate presentation that I put together. It's more like a handout, that looks halfway decent, because the last thing we want to do is go into somebody, go and meet with someone and say, well, let me set up my PowerPoint and this will only take 30 minutes. It's just a very quick way of explaining what it is we're trying to do, what the benefit is to them, benefit is to our community and to the artists. And actually I had the benefits to them last because that's probably what's going to sell them most. And then what we have are those testimonials on it that we are working on. Carol, I know you had some good luck with what you.
Yeah, did you get my email,
I
Chuck?
did. Why don't you share
Yeah.
that?
So I went in and spoke to the bar manager, Scott, at the Americana Bar and Grill, right? Is that what
Yep.
it's called? And also spoke with Hope down at the Artisan, and both who have live music in their restaurants. The Americana does live jazz on Monday nights, and Thursday nights is acoustic, and the Artisan does music at brunch, and then twice a month on a Wednesday they have live music. And both were, it's been a great experience for both, and they were willing to have us draft up a testimonial for them.
Great. That's great. Thing I like about that is those are two different,
Yeah, totally different.
totally different places. Artisan's a little swankier.
Hmm.
Americana is more family. So
Yeah, and
that's
also two different locations, right,
yeah,
too. One, Blueback, one Park Road.
yeah. So LaTanya was working on the Russell. She had already said they'd be willing to do that. Figure eight is a little. They don't want to be inundated with people using their place, but I'm kind of. I told them I would draft something that kind of makes them look like heroes and doesn't leave it open. That was a very particular thing of a performance during the holiday stroll,
Right.
but just getting people into their place. So I mean that's that's not something like a music in the restaurants that's going to something that would be like a weekly thing or whatever. I'm trying to get Plan B to do something actually for the Park Road Parade. But I got to follow up with them on that, and I was going to throw that in there as well. And then also WeHa Brewing and Roasting. He's trying to get. Been working with him with the chamber. Something unrelated. They're trying to get a license from the town. It's something that the state has a new local craft ordinance that places like we have brewing and roasting can sell additional Connecticut manufactured product, whether it's alcohol or food or whatever. And we're trying to get the town to pass the ordinance, which is really it's really not it's something it's a permitted use by the state, and they just have to do their thing. And understandably, he's getting a little frustrated with us in terms of how long you guys don't need to know. It's not your problem. It's a long way of saying I'm waiting till we have some good news for him before I ask him for another favor. But that should be in the next couple of weeks. So that's kind of where we're at now. Does anybody have any questions on this? Yes, Marilla.
Yes, I would like to ask Carol if Americana restaurant would be open to bring more music, or they're all set on Monday, Thursday. Did you get the sense if
No, I did ask him, because in asking, I was curious, are the people he's hiring from West Hartford, because they may not be. And he said most are. So I think he'd be willing to add to that. I don't think he does the same people every week. So we can certainly ask
that would
him.
be also, interesting to know if there is more room here or to spread the word to the artists.
Right.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Having a pretzel, Jeannie.
I also, Carol, had a question. I wonder, as we're reaching out to these people and just talking with them, are we finding out information in terms of, and this might be more, well, I guess for musicians as well, but how are they finding the people? Did you get a sense of that, of where they're how they access these musicians?
A good question, Jenny. Honestly, no, I didn't ask them that, but that's something we can, we'll speak with them further and we can ask.
Yeah, I was just wondering that because I thought of that after we met in terms of when we, and easy for me to say because I didn't volunteer to call anyone, but I'm wondering, as we're trying to pair up artists and establishments as part of the testimonial or as part of the information we can offer is, well, how do you even find the artists, right?
Right. Yeah, no, it's a good question. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, but anyway, just a thought.
I think that's something we should ask them.
Yeah. No, I definitely. And Carol, we can talk offline about, a draft statement, a draft testimonial for them, and maybe we can
Yeah.
jump on the call with them and ask them some of these follow-up.
Sure.
That's a great idea. I saw your hand up, Sue.
Yeah, thank you. I think I missed the first bullet on this topic where you said there was some preparation of talking points and messaging to go to these companies. Is that something that has been shared with us in?
No. No, it has not been shared with anybody. It's not shared with me now. It's gone. So I got to recreate it.
I'm sorry. Okay.
But that's all right. It's not very, and again, this is, we don't want to bite off too much. I think last time I had a whole, step A, B, C, D, and E, and we were just kind of working with maybe A and B right now. And it's kind of like once we can back up, what we're trying to do now is have a piece that we can go to new venues with, new potential venues that aren't having art or musicians or whatever in their establishments and saying, hey, we're the West Hartford Commission on the Arts. We're trying to match up artists with places and spaces where they can showcase their work. Here's, here's the benefits to, local artists, the community, to the host, yourself. And here's some testimonials. We'd love to, we're going to, and we haven't even gotten this far in terms of if it's a public database or not. But we love to try and connect you with some artists. I mean, if there's something specific, we, go out and find them. So it's a question of not only reaching out to potential hosts, new hosts, but also, reaching out to the artists. And that's where we can't really reach out to, or it's probably not a good idea to reach out to the artists now if we don't know that we have some matches for them. Like if we found, we get, 5 or 6 of these existing places that do it, but we can't encourage others to do it. That'd be kind of disappointing by putting out that offer to artists when we don't know, there aren't any other ones. But it's important that we have our message down, and that's really, what we're trying to do now is by having the support of the folks that already do it, that are willing to stick their neck out and say, yeah, we'll do it. And then we can talk about reaching out to places that might want to sign up. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Yes, we start with what we know,
Okay.
and yeah, we build it from there.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? Yes, Jenny?
So then we'll take on this piece, and then after that, is that when we would start trying to would we first then go to some of the businesses to get a temperature of how many would be interested, and then go to people like Ronnie Newton and the press? Or would we first go, you know what I mean? Like what, because I could see in a way if there was some press around this new initiative that maybe some businesses might get on board more because it gives it a little more street cred, but you don't want to pretend something exists that doesn't, you know what I mean? So just
I like the way you're thinking. If you ever want to get out of photography, there might be a career in PR, No, I absolutely. I think we kind of do it simultaneously, but it would be nice to have a couple in our pocket. Like say, we've reached, here the Russell, Americana, Artesian, these other places are doing it. And we've also gotten some interest from new places. And, because I think by having stuff in the media, that's also a great way to do recruitment. People read Ronnie's article and we give her a contact. Hey, if you're interested, either as a performer or as a host, let us know. But, and that's not just, earned media, but we'll do a lot of this on social media, utilize the chamber and their takeout time distribution to all the restaurants. Renee McHugh has a newsletter that goes out on the listserv. So there's lots of ways we can promote this. But again, like with any good campaign, got to have your message first. We're going to hire artists to perform at all restaurants and make Newington pay for it. What I did there.
Yes. But Chuck, I also have a question.
Yeah.
I think I was mentioning to you because I remember Avere used to have music some time ago. We really liked it when it was there in the bar, and then they stopped and they told us because they had restrictions. So I think we should find that out too before approaching these businesses. Can we find out from the town? I don't know if that would be a town or a landlord restriction.
No, that's a town ordinance, and that's a very good question.
It may be based on size because when you think about it, Americana and Artisan are very large.
Yep.
They can accommodate that. Be great if the other ones, and I know Max Oyster used to too. I don't know if they still do, but
and you also have sound ordinance. I mean, it's
that kind of thing. So maybe it might be good to be armed with that before, so we know what we're asking for from these
Kristen
businesses.
Gorski, who's the head of economic development for the town. I shared this with her. She's very supportive, but she's the one that can give us the do's or don'ts. And
that'd be great.
Yeah, and that actually I think might be good to put in the marketing piece. That might be something in addition. The town allows for live performance, just under certain decibels. Yes, really.
I thought of another restaurant that opened not long ago, Zitoon. So that one is, it's a decent size space.
That's in the Epstein Plaza in Elmwood.
Yes, in Elmwood, correct. Yeah. They had the small first restaurant on Park Road, and then they kept that one, but they opened a bigger one. So I think that might be room there because they're fairly new there, and it might be a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. I recall the Fernwood used to have music on St. Patrick's Day. Any other questions, comments? Okay. Does anybody have, and I apologize, we're kind of all over the place, but I think there was actually some good new thoughts that came out of this. So that when we meet in July, we'll be even more prepared. And I know that I hadn't heard from Matt or Karen. Oh yeah, I heard from Karen. But when everybody's back, we can put our foot on the gas on this, so to speak. And Sue, if you want to note in the minutes that I will send out to And I'll send I'll send it with the agenda and the minutes in advance of the next meeting and send it to everyone. Kind of the draft first to look at.
I'm sorry, what are you gonna send out?
I'm going to send you a draft of the messaging
Oh, yes, okay.
with this meeting's minutes, as short as they are, as well as the agenda for the next meeting. Any other questions on this or anything else in the arts world in West Hartford? Anybody have any new business they want to bring up? Okay. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Marilla, Sue, seconds. All those in favor signify by raising your hand. It's unanimous. Great. All righty. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a
Bye,
nice rest-
everyone.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thank
Okay.
you.